Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm just making a video to tell you how to fix the lower handle assembly for the Toro LawnBoy model 19732. It's a 21-inch self-propelled 6.5 horsepower 149cc true start lawnmower. I don't know what year it is because I got it used. I'm basically posting this video because of the idiot that made like an 8-minute video where all he did was look at this thing. And it's pretty simple, but if you don't usually work on stuff, this video will be very helpful. This is going to apply to both sides, so if you can do one side, you can do the other. And you'll see that the problem that we have is right here. And this happened in the idiot's video. It also happened with my mower, so it's probably a design flaw. But the lower handle assembly, which is what that part is called, and make sure you understand Toro makes LawnBoy. So when you Google it, you can buy the LawnBoy part for like 60 bucks, or you can buy the Toro part that they say that AI says will match for like 19 bucks on Amazon. Buy the $20 one and you'll be off to a good start there. So you get that part. Let's see, that part looks like this. There we go. That part looks like this. And yep, I'm wearing gloves just because I don't like to get my hands greasy and dirty. I use these Venom gloves, they're really awesome. So this is what the part looks like. There's the lower end with the 2 bolt holes, and there's the upper end also with 2 bolt holes, and we'll go into that. But this is in honor of the moron who made the long video and didn't do anything. I'm not really going to talk at all, and I'm just going to fix this thing for you and show you how to do it. Because really, the main problem is just getting at these bolts, these 2 lower bolts that are behind this wheel. So how do you do that? You figure that out and you're all good. By the way, these are the gloves that I use. You can get them at the store, they're really good, or you can order them online. They seem to last pretty well. So we'll get after it here. Kind of focus on this. I'll go over the tools that we'll need for this. You just got a standard wrench, you got a vice grips, you got a needle nose pliers, kind of a bent angle needle nose pliers, and the old dog bone. I think we'll be using the 11 millimeter and the 9 or also 7/16 and the 9/16 / 14 millimeter. I'm pretty sure is what we use. These dog bone wrenches are great. You could also use I've seen people use, little powered drivers with a socket set. That's fine. You need to use some sort of socket. You can't use your wrench here. That's not going to work. You need to use some sort of socket here to get in and get at that. Let's see, this one is actually a 1/2 inch / 13 millimeter. That's what that one will be. So the big deal is, this is easy. This is just this is like a 3/16. This comes off easy. So there's a total of 4 bolts to remove. The first one, well, 5 if you count this handle right here. But the first one, and keep everything in a nice, clean, neat place. The first one is just holding the top of that lower handle assembly. And then what you need I really don't even use these. I didn't use these 2, but I figured they might be helpful for you, especially as you put the wheel back on. You might really like the vice grips, but you kind of got to have a needle nose vice grips anyway, but you might want to have something that locks. I didn't use that, but you might want to have that. And then I think we'll switch to the 1/2 inch for this. Okay, yep, that's good. And then we're just gonna need something. This is where I'll use my little crescent wrench. And find something to, this is just for your personal comfort. Lock that thing up. And then you're gonna get back there with your little adjustable wrench. And you can start wrenching on this wheel. So the dog bone's nice. You can get a little leverage, or you can just go straight and get a little speed. You basically just hold that nut in place so you can pull this off. And that's all there is behind there. It's just a gear on the wheel because it's self-propelled, and this piece. So again, we'll set the pieces right here. We've got our bolt, and then we've got our nut, which fell off. Put the nut back on here so you don't lose it, and set it down. I'll tell you about the thread locker in a second. And then we'll switch over to 13 millimeter, also 1/2 inch, so same as the wheel. So you got a 3/16 for that top one, and then 1/2 inch for these. Now the back of these are carriage bolts, so as long as they're locked in, you don't need anything on the back side, because the carriage bolt has that flat head with the square neck, and the square neck locks in, and you don't need anything on there. And you're gonna love this, especially if you watch that 8-minute video where you wanted to kill the guy at the end of it, because he didn't do anything. Like literally didn't do anything. He just looked at the mower and like watched the whole thing on fast forward, just waiting for when he started working on it. He never did, and I was like, because I'm not really handy, especially with motors, but I can figure it out. So now you have these two nuts. You can just leave those in. If they do fall out, you just put them back in through the back. It's not a big deal, and you wiggle it till it seats firmly, which means that square part is in. And this little bracket that retains it, and you just slide that straight off gently. That'll keep those nice and in there. This is what these look like. They have that square neck underneath the flathead. So if they do fall out, just put it back in, move it around till it seats in the square part, and you're good to go. Then you're gonna take this, and you may have noticed this, and I didn't mention it. This is called Thread Locker Blue. And I wanted to illustrate this because I thought it was kind of funny. Thread Locker Blue, which is removable and is on these bolts, it looks like. There's a little thread locker on here, which would make sense because the thing's always vibrating. Thread Locker Blue comes in a red container. Thread Locker Red comes in a blue container. Do not use Thread Locker Red. Thread Locker Red is permanent. You don't want to use that on here in case it breaks again. You want to use Thread Locker Blue, which is removable. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a nice shiny new lower handle assembly, left hand, which means it's got this groove. The groove always, or the crescent always faces outwards to accept that upper handle. I'm gonna put my fingers right there, slide this on one, slide on the other, and it literally just slides right on. You can just kind of see how it's supposed to seat. And just to reverse this bracket, I'm pretty sure it just goes in like this. I don't think you're gonna, if you're not sure, try it both ways and see which way works better for you. And then we're just gonna take a little bit of this Thread Locker Blue, the removable kind. I'm gonna put a little bit just right on the top. It'll work its way around. You don't need a lot. Just a little, and if you get a little on there, that's okay. And this is the part where I'm like, you know what, I'm glad I wear gloves, because I'm gonna go have a cup of coffee after this. It's like 6 in the morning or something. And I want to have my coffee before I go out and piss off all the neighbors with my early morning mowing. And then you get your 1/2 inch on here. These dog bones are great, you know, I mean, my brother-in-law gave me this and I really like it. And it's just it's just kind of a useful tool to have. If you don't have a dog bone wrench, you know, I would recommend getting one, just because I can't find my sockets, and it's the story of most handy people, right? It's like, if I had all my tools in one place, I could probably build a rocket ship, but I never do. And then when you need to, you can orient it sideways and crank and get a little bit of extra juice out of it, get a little bit of leverage, and really seat those down nice and tight. So that's not going to go anywhere as I continue to mow over the years. Then we just put this back in here. There's only one hole that the bolt can go through, and you really can't screw it up. These gears, they're just going to lock together. So if they don't lock together, the wheel won't fit on. Now, I'm going to show you here. This is where I take the needle nose, and you could use a vice grips if you want to, or just use your wrench. But I'm going to show you what that looks like right back there. This is where you want to hold it in place. And so this bolt, let me show you again what that looks like. So that nut is back there, and you're just using your needle nose or your locking needle nose, or even just your wrench to hold it in place. And then it's the same way when you want to get it out of there. Where are we at? I'm trying to hold too many things at once here. This is why I don't make a lot of YouTube videos. So I probably need a cameraman because I'm not good at this. There's the nut. It's on the back side. So now you can see where the nut is. Your wrench just comes up, grabs that little bad dog right there. You got your wrench in there. You got your wrench in there, right here. It's grabbing the little nut. And now we're gonna screw it down. There we go. You can see that. Back to our 1/2 inch. Adjust that down a little bit. And like I said, if the gears don't line up, the wheel's not even going to go back on. So you get that on nice and snug. Drop that back down. And it's no tools required for this bolt. It was preset in the upper one. You can adjust the height of the handle if you want to go down to the lower one. And this is just a hand tighten. And that locks that in, and then lastly, don't forget your little 3/16. You probably should have put this in earlier before you lock the whole assembly in, but you know, not gonna be the end of the world. Work a little harder to get it to seat I've already attached the upper. Maybe this might be something you want to do before you... Okay, so say this happens and you're like, shit, I can't get this in. So what you can still get at... Let me make sure the camera's on here still. Oh, that's not even... See, this is my camera skills. Sorry. So what if you're like, shoot, I hope you just fast forwarded through that. What if you're like, shoot, I can't get that other, that last bolt in. That's okay. Just loosen the top one. You don't have to take the wheel back off. Just loosen the top one a little bit, and it's going to give you enough play in moving this around. Again, that's why I use thread locker blue. Don't use red. Idiot like me. There we go. I got a little plan now. Oh, that's off a little bit. Stupid China. That's why that doesn't want to fit, because it's not machined right. What we'll do is we'll lift that off and try and jimmy it around. Lift that off. So we got to get it in this hole here. Now I am going to take this off. So that stupid China, not ever machine stuff right. So this would be done a lot quicker if this hole was in the right place. So maybe you should order the $60 part. Buyer beware. So I'm just loosening this up to give myself as much play as I can get this aligned, because this drops down into a little threaded receiver on mulcher, on the mulcher assembly. Probably good that you see this in case this happens to you. Go get my American flag overall shorts on for this one. Man, shit, that is way off. Well, so here's what I'm gonna do. You're like, shit, what are you gonna do? Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what the good people of China and their hijacked fucking documents couldn't do. I don't know if you can hear on YouTube, but I'm not making any money off of this, so I probably don't care. I'm gonna drill that fucker out. Put that hole in the right place. All right. This is what happens when you steal corporate secrets, children. The frickin' thing doesn't get built right. So maybe it's gonna cost me more than I had to go. A stupid drill bit on top of your 1999 junk part. Fucking America. This is, I'll just tell you, this is for sure not how you're supposed to be doing this. This video has devolved completely into what not to do. I think in the future, I would just buy the correct part, but hey, I'm here. It's Sunday morning. I'm gonna get my white shitty sneakers on. Where is your elusive teenage son when you need him? Press him into work. Ah, here's something else you can do. Okay, this is all failing. This is all failing me. So, I have one more trick up my sleeve. A little bit more redneck. If I will put on the caveat, if I wasn't doing this for you people, I would probably just actually do it the right way. But, you know, now that I made those comments about China, now I kind of gotta, you know, back up my smart assery. So what we're gonna do is take one of those HD, or those Timberlock screws, because these screw in everything. You don't need a hole. Just drill in. Drill, baby, drill. America. There you go. And that's done. So, now you can see that that's fully repaired. I'm going to torque this back down. This bolt that I had to loosen up here. Okay, that's solid on there. Now we can put our I made a mess of everything. I don't look professional at all, but you know what? The freaking handle's back on. I didn't talk for 8 minutes. I probably took 20 minutes to do this, but you know what? This is how long it actually takes, kids. I'm not making an edited video. I'm not gonna reshoot this because you know what? America. Kidding. Kinda. Hope you enjoyed this video. And now that's back together again. This part, this little retaining clip goes in there and holds that out of the way. And then you are set and you're back in action with your new handle and you're ready to go. Thanks for watching.